Thank you guys so much for celebrating Juneteenth with us. I know we have some new faces, so I just want to briefly introduce our event hosts. Um, let's see here. How do I view gallery? There we go. Now we're on. Um, so the Help Network is actually a Black-owned business, which is awesome. And the company was born from a desire for its founders to help their friends. In post-production services for over 15 years, the Help Network's founders, Chip and Julia, have helped hundreds of clients and employed even more talented creatives on award-winning projects. This event is a little bit different than what they usually do. Their content is very educational, so check out their YouTube for some helpful hints on navigating the voiceover industry and more. But today's event is more of a celebration. And we have some amazing Black artists here who are going to show their work. So we'll just go ahead and dive right in and introduce them. They're on screen here for us. All right, so speakers, please introduce yourselves and briefly explain how you or your family like to celebrate Juneteenth, okay? I'll go first. I'm Keevon Sanders. I'm the moderator for today's event. And I work in HR and I'm from the South. So every company I work for, I do try to advocate to have Juneteenth off. If I don't have that day off, I do take a vacation because I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. And like laying around on a paid day off and ordering Postmates from the Black owned section of the little category is iconic. It just feels really good. Being from the South, family-wise, we do barbecues, fish fries, like the whole nine is generally what we do. Devin would love to know how you celebrate.
Yeah, my name is Devin Wesley. I'm a live artist and portrait artist. I'm based in Los Angeles, California. I'm actually really excited. So this Juneteenth, I'm actually going to be doing a live painting at the Melrose flea market. So that'll be a really fun way to kind of celebrate with the community and meet new people. Normally, I just really like to just be in the culture. I like to, be at the parties, connect and just feel all the joy, the collective joy that we all have on this day. And it's funny, it's sad. I grew up in a predominantly white community, so I actually wasn't raised to, even know or celebrate this holiday. So it's something that's come to me later in life. But now that I'm here, I love it. I'm glad that we all are in unison to celebrate it.
Awesome. Cambria would love to know how you celebrate.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Keevon Sanders. I'm a Howard alum. I'm from San Diego, California, but as of right now, I am living in Nashville, Tennessee. And yeah, how I like to celebrate Juneteenth is I'm actually a high school teacher, so I already have the summer breaks off. But I do like to advocate for like my friends and family to take the weekend off or whatever day it is off and just celebrate it with family and friends for sure.
Awesome. And Kristy, what about you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kristy Lang. I'm from California. I'm a writer slash poet and singer. And basically pretty much do the same thing. I take the day off and I rest and I chill out with people I love. We celebrate the day and that's pretty much it. We honor, our history and culture.
Awesome. Well, I definitely love that. Harold is joining us. Hey, Harold, would love to know how you celebrate Juneteenth. And yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Hey y'all, what's going on? I just got home. But my name is Harold Lloyd, pronouns he, him, his. I'm a poet, spoken word artist, and actor and scholar. And I celebrate Juneteenth. Oh, that is a very amazing question because I'm actually going to Dallas tomorrow to celebrate Juneteenth. So so I will be with my friends. Being Black, being queer, and all that.
I love that. Yeah, I'm from Dallas too. So that's awesome that you're going there to celebrate. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing what you guys usually do. I definitely hope that this can be a new tradition for me, celebrating this event virtually and maybe one day in person. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Cambria would love to see your work. Let me go ahead and switch the view to speaker view and pin you. Give me one moment. Technology kind of hates me sometimes. So let's do speaker, and then I will pin you. There we go. So you should be all set to get started.
Okay, thank you. So I will be showing my work digitally. A little bit about me is I would say I'm a mixed media artist. I love painting, I love using colored pencils, I love using whatever it is, and I do sell my work. So I will be showing y'all my work through my website. Hopefully, if it works.
Yeah, let me know if you're able to share screen.
Okay. Oh, actually, it says I have to, I might have to leave the meeting to share my screen. Hold up.
Oh, there you go.
Okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay.
Your website is beautiful, by the way.
What was that?
I said your website's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I've worked really hard on it. So I actually started my website last August on my birthday. And what I love to paint, to draw is portraits of Black women. And mainly what I focus on is showcasing all sides of what a Black woman is. You know, we all know the strong Black woman icon, but honestly, Black women are so much more than that. Like, yes, we are strong physically and emotionally, but also we're vulnerable and have softer, gentle sides. So that's what I try to show through that. I do sell original paintings and also prints. One of the first pieces I created when I started my business was this piece right here called Searching. Like I said, I really love doing portraits, and not necessarily like super hyper realistic portraits, but just things that can be taken however you want them to be taken. Another piece is this one right here. I really do love tackling like heavier concepts and, you know, maybe a little bit more depressing concepts, but I also really love showing Black women in very whimsical and colorful ways. And so that's what this piece is right here. It's like watercolor and color pencil for the most part. Another piece I wanted to show, actually, I will show it through here. So this was a piece I created 4 years ago when I first started drawing at all. And I had a similar concept of just showing Black women and like us trying to find ourselves and everything. And so that's what I did here. Again, this was like actually probably 5 years ago at this point. And so lately, or within this last year, I wanted to recreate a few of my pieces and kind of like take a different spin on it. And so the spin I took on this piece right here is actually an original painting. I'll zoom in. So this is a mixed media piece. I actually got a puzzle and I just put it together, and then I obviously left some pieces out, and I painted a portrait on top of it. In the blank spaces, I tore up a book called Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and it just tackles a lot of heavy topics, and I thought it'd be perfect for this piece. And yeah, so it's just a really cool piece. I'm very proud of it. Again, like I said, it's done on like a puzzle and also wood, and I just really love incorporating a lot of different stuff. One of the last pieces I will show you all, if I can get to it, is another piece that I'm kind of redoing and working on is this one. I will show you the original. This one was color pencil and I drew it a few years back, and I thought of it on the 4th of July. I woke up, thought of this idea, and I really just wanted to crank it out. So I drew it in one day. But years later, I just really wanted to like redo it. And I started this one again. during the beginning of when COVID started really affecting the US and when Black Lives Matters protests were heavily broadcasted. And so I think it's just really interesting to see the different takes. Like, yes, it's the same piece, but it has a completely different meaning. Like this was originally drawn before COVID even started, but now this woman is wearing the flag, as you can see, as a mask, and underneath there is that Confederate flag. And this is just another piece I'm really excited to work on. But as you can see, like all in all, my pieces, I just like to showcase Black women and everything that we are, because like, yes, we are strong and capable, but there is so much more. And I really love highlighting that. So that is my work.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing us. I definitely am feeling pretty inspired, loving the work. Devin, I'll go ahead and let you take over from here. Let me figure out how to do this. Again, bear with me, technology and me do not mix. Cambria is unsharing, so we're good. And then let me pin you as well. Remove pin. All right, and then pin. There we go, Devin. You are all good to take off.
Perfect. Cambria, your work is amazing. Definitely going to follow you after this. And that puzzle piece was incredible idea. So as I mentioned, my name is Devin Wesley. I'm a portrait artist in Los Angeles. I work exclusively in black and white oil paint. I've been practicing art professionally for about 6 years now. Kind of taking a distancing myself away from color in the earlier parts of my career. I found some of my most inspiration in, really emotional, dramatic portrait photography. I felt like black and white monochromatic portraiture was really an incredible way to convey emotion and, really have you connect directly to the viewer and the subject. So that's what's been inspiring me my entire career. I'd love to share my screen and kind of show you some of my latest pieces. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I think I did the wrong screen. Can you guys see can you see what's?
There we go. Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, I was editing my website earlier, trying to get mine as good as Cambria. So, in 2020, I was extremely, taken, and obviously, as most of us were, by what was happening in the world, the Black Lives Matter movement, and just, my own personal experience as a man of color. Growing up, I was a huge fan of comic books and superheroes, and I felt like there was a little bit of representation of people of color in those spaces, but not a lot. So I thought it would be really interesting to make a modern twist that, people of color, Black people, could look at and see themselves in. These three pieces were pieces I created in 2020. The one on the left is called The Greatest Responsibility, meant to represent a Black man as Spider-Man. What has always connected me to the idea of Spider-Man was that he was just a regular person having to live two different lives. And most people would never be able to understand what that experience was of the duality of his experience. And when I compared that to Black men, thinking about how, and oftentimes we are one way, but we have to present ourselves as another way in society to not be perceived as aggressive or to fit in the workplace. There's a duality that we always have to manage, and many people that are not Black will not understand. So that's what inspired that piece. The piece on the right side, Batman becoming a hero, is just meant to represent the strength and, natural being of what it is to be a Black man. And similar to the piece of Spider-Man, just, having to kind of exist in life, sometimes wearing a mask, not being able to be your full self. And then the beautiful queen in the middle represents Captain America, just is meant to represent sheer strength and pride and, taking back, something that feels not ownable to us, the name Captain America. When you oftentimes, especially in that year, when you think of America, you didn't think of that being something that a Black person could be attached to in a appropriate or safe way. So I really wanted to take the power back and to create a beautiful image of that. And how I know that these pieces made a difference is because I received so much hate when I released these into the world. I received a good amount of love, of course, but there were people that did not understand, didn't appreciate that I was taking predominantly white characters and putting a Black spin on them, which to me just identified that this is exactly why I did this in the first place, that there was such animosity and disdain towards seeing white characters as Black. So I felt like that was a mission complete for me. So these are 3 of my favorite pieces. And then kind of segueing into these 3 pieces here, these are pieces that I did throughout 2020 and 2021. The piece on the left is titled Grand Rising. I did this last year during Black History Month to celebrate and honor the importance of education. I think there's so many ways to be an advocate and to fight for change. And I think education is one way that I don't think is discussed enough. You can advocate, you can make a difference without aggression, without silence. You can, make a difference just by educating yourself and trying to make a difference. And coming from a predominantly white area, understanding the importance of giving children the information to know where they come from, know what their history is. So that's what this piece represents: a young Black boy surrounded by all of these incredibly Black books written by incredible Black authors, and ranging from different decades. But I think education and kids having the visibility to all the information is extremely important. The piece on the far right, this ballerina, Rise Like a Phoenix, is a piece that I created at the end of 2020 to represent, regardless of how much we go through, regardless of how much we have to overcome, we will naturally always have the ability to rise and to rise stronger and to add a unique mix of what makes us special as Black people. So I was inspired by the idea of knowing how, tight and closed off the ballet industry can be, and the expectations that, are put on women to wear their hair a certain way, to look a certain way. And I love the idea of having a Black woman just proud with her braids just flowing in the wind, representing her pride in who she is and not afraid to share that with the world. And then the piece in the middle was a commission from a client, and it's of him. And, I think this really represented a lot of our feelings over the past couple of years of just this internal frustration and feeling stuck and not knowing what to do, and this angst. And I think I captured that really well, just in the tones and, the expression and the body movement. So these would probably be 3 of my favorite pieces. So I'm happy I got to share them with you.
Thank you so much for sharing. We do have a little bit more time. Do you want to show us your website a little bit? I think it's beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to figure out how to do that right now. I'll go here. Sorry, you guys. Virtual world. This is what we all are. So this is my website. As I mentioned, I'm a portrait artist and a live painter. I really enjoy not only creating work similar to what I just showed you, but I love creating unique pieces for clients similar to the piece on the left. I did this for a couple last year to celebrate their new home. So it's a very large piece that sits in their living room. And to me, it's extremely powerful and impactful to create and replicate a memory for someone. I think we live in a world where everything is moving so fast, and we have become desensitized to the madness of life. So I think what's really beautiful about visual art is that you can freeze moments in time and that they'll always stay with you. And as I mentioned a little bit about my live art, separate from that, I was an athlete most of my life. So, you know, I love to interact with other people. I love to get my adrenaline going. So I've taken it upon myself. I work with certain events and festivals, and groups of people have hired me to create, you know, live art for the public. So this was a piece I did last year during Pride Month. And this was a piece I did during 2020. I partnered with a popular actor and recording artist named Algie Smith to create a piece of him. I'm also, you know, I love a challenge. So I was a part of a speed painting competition called Art Battle. I competed against 15 artists. We had 20 minutes to paint something, and I won. So then I went on to the finals earlier this year, which was really exciting. And this is another piece from an event I worked at in 2019. And then I can quickly show you some of my prints. You've seen a couple of these already. I'm actually having a Juneteenth sale, which is why you see the sale. I'm actually very proud of this website, guys. I just finished it. I hope you guys like it. But yeah, these are some of my pieces that I think really represent kind of what I'm trying to put out into the world and the messages I'm trying to share currently.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that I'm like finding out, you know, more stuff about my friends today. I definitely didn't know you were an athlete your whole life. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started to the spoken word piece of the presentation today. Let me go ahead and switch us to gallery view. All right. So wanting to get more inspiration flowing here, Harold would love for you to read your spoken word pieces today, if you have them ready.
Yes. Hey, y'all. I didn't know I was okay. I forgot I was going first. Hey, y'all. Okay. So these two pieces that I'm gonna okay, I guess I have a little bit like of a disclaimer. So is I guess a little bit just like of a trigger warning. There isn't like any specific like language like that can possibly trigger somebody, but this first piece is about being a survivor of sexual violence, right? I am a Black queer man, like a Black gay man from the South Side of Chicago, that has built many homes, that has been through many experiences, that has been through love, like how that creates something beautiful, how that also can destroy you, right? But all in all, like all of my experiences have enlightened me, and has made me into like the person, the artist, the lover, right, that I am today, and that I also try to be. So yeah, I'm gonna hit y'all with this first piece, and here we go. This is the letter to my insecurities that the birds will sing when I die in this moment. I have become the Nat Turner of the 21st century, telling my history through the hips of Sarah Bartman, the discretion to the world. The myth that my body is under disguise, guarding the graveyard to my body, I smell like often misused words. You can't imagine how long I had to walk this earth pretending like you were never the problem. Was it my fault that I never asked my father how to love cornered colored boys? You gave me all your secrets because I'm the entity that alters your soul for forgetting who I am after I let you stick the head in. You are a waste for those who look for vulnerability and sex, but this is about physical gratification for you. We danced together on this verse, and I could still smell the rubber from the leftover condom that you used to penetrate my story. Tonight, I was silent as the whistle that never came out of Emmett Till's mouth. This night seems different from any other night. Tonight, I met a body with the smoothest dark skin. I feel you different tonight. This was when I learned that longevity doesn't exist with any DL man. This was my fatal attempt of making forever out of you. I waited all night on this bed for you to look at me like a body next to a lifeless portrait. And no matter how many times I looked at you, I still can remember your face. Like you had already went missing and came back before I noticed. Thinking if I rewrite you in this story that it would hurt any less. Thinking what I would give to taste your silence once more. For your cologne to be mistaken as the moon covering my entire back. Where did my body go when you took it right from under me? Black boys are magic, so tonight I'll call you a sorcerer, a magician, a ritual. Tonight wasn't love, it was a sacrifice. Tonight you're gonna have to show me that thing you do, where you sing songs about backwoods and broken promises, about your way back home to me, about how this ain't new to you. When a boy says, I love you, his breath will smell like a complete disregard for your humanity. No self-control, no substance, no feeling self-afflicted strife for those who look for first-time vulnerability. Making love under the moonlight isn't as exciting as my friends told me it would be. Tonight, I learned that there is no such thing as too soon anymore. Just like the word no isn't a legitimate answer anymore. Just like freeze tag isn't a mating game anymore. Just like silence is the loudest kind of noise when you just stand there. Just like we are not in the closet anymore, we are more in the quiet. More like places where you are not supposed to make noise. More like the world is not a place for me to make noise. So one day you're gonna have to show me that thing you do. Where you lay on my chest, right where you left my heart, waiting for you to get away with me again. And that's the first piece.
Yes.
This last piece that I will share with y'all is called What Home Means to Me. And it's just about, like I was saying before, about the many homes like that I have built, right? The many homes that people have built inside of me. And also just about my literal birthplace of the South Side of Chicago, and just how that has shaped me into the person that I am, and how like Chicago is a very sacred place, right? And it's a very sacred, a very cultural place, a very special place. And I would, much rather not be from any other place than Chicago. It just gives you so much character, it gives you so much spirit. But I've traveled to many other places, right? And those places mean so much to me too. And I've also made homes in those places too. I've met friends where they are homes to me, right? Where I can be a home to somebody, So that's what this piece is about. I came into this life in search of a home, only to find that a home is not just about where you sleep. I came into this life in search of a home to find what belongs to me, not what was given to me. Every piece, every performance, every snap, every boisterous laugh and zealous smile is what belongs to me. I came into this life in search of a home to find what belongs to me, where I don't have to sacrifice myself, where I see God in everyone around me, including myself. I came into this life in search of a home. What belongs to me is the scar on my lower back, my plane ticket, my suitcase that I can pack faster than anyone else I know. I came into this life in search of a home. Home is on the south side, that I-57 side, that you better hop your ass on the 15th side, that Chicago Ridge side. What belongs to me is my down coat for the coldest winter ever. What belongs to me is my intuition when they tell you to check it out. What belongs to me is that warm feeling in my stomach when I pull up to Giordano's. Home is where I cry, where I'm a fool more than once, where I'm not pretending. Home is where I'm not an actor, but rather a singer, body dipped in harmony from kids yelling to the skyline. Home is where you can focus in class because the sirens were too loud. Home is where house is. That freedom belongs to me. Home is where the ballroom is. Home is where the girls pose for their life, for their coin, for their humanity. What belongs to me is humanity. Unlike 79th and Jeffrey, what belongs to me is pretending like this trauma don't love ain't mine to die with. Like home is nowhere else to go. Home is anywhere the city girls playing. Home is where I act up. Home is where you got me fucked up. Home is where I dream like escaping definition at all times. Like I won't fly away and leave the world behind. What belongs to me is this performance, this sadness that I did not know about, like loose squares, like you tweaking, like why you ain't come back home sooner, like heartbreak, like you don't live here anymore. I came into this life in search of a home. Home is who I am. Home is where I make sense of it all. Home is my smile with the slick demeanor. Home is never in one place. Home is where you ain't. Home isn't given to me, but it is built by me, for me, through me. Home is what belongs to me. And that's that piece, y'all. That's me. My Instagram. Thank y'all so much. My Instagram is @HealthThePoet. I can put it. I just put it in the chat. So yeah, follow me, y'all.
We definitely will. All right. Well, Kristy, would you go ahead and take it away with your spoken word pieces?
Harold, you made it tough to follow. Amazing work, amazing. Devin and Camber as well, lovely work. But again, my name is Kristy. I am a spoken word artist, writer, creative in general. Again, from California. Been writing all my life. It's been my outlet, a way for me to kind of organize my feelings inside because they get a little all over the place sometimes. But when I sit and I write, it kind of helps me to debrief and just bring everything back together. This first piece is called Cocoa Beauty. And it's basically, it was inspired by this idea that society has deemed Black women something to be gazed upon and admired, but not necessarily honored or protected. And as a result of that, we've had to become a little bit more rigid and in a sense, harden ourselves to the world around us. But naturally, we are still women, okay? We are still naturally soft and delicate, but because of the society that we live in today, we have to approach things a little bit more differently. So yeah, this is Cocoa Beauty. She is an art museum, an untidy display of labor and agony, torn by the world's inability to hold her, a quiet mystery, with eyes like billowing clouds and godliness woven in between her thighs, thick and stature like royalty. She is dangerously beautiful, a magician, with little mercy to spare. She's been burned too many times, self-sacrificing and extending grace. There is no more room left in her for remorse. The world pressured her into vengeance, and now the time she knew gentleness is gone, and the hate she harbors reigns even on the days when her heart is smiling. That's the first one. It's a little short, but
That's my favorite one. I was looking at the website. I was like, oh my God, please read this one. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the second piece is called Kitchen Table, and it is inspired by history and culture. And it's fairly new, so bear with me, but what I wanted to touch on is the fact that, yes, as Black culture, our history is beautiful, and there are a lot of things that we should take away from our ancestors, but there are certain things that should not be taken with us. There are certain things that need to be changed. There are certain traditions that need to be broken, and we need to start those things anew, okay? And so Kitchen Table is basically, it was inspired by just some of the relationships I seen my mothers, my grandmothers, women in my life go through, and how sometimes we give up our hopes, our dreams, our desires for marriage, men who don't necessarily deserve us. And I think that's something that should definitely stop. We should not have to give up who we are or what we desire to be in order to be with somebody. And that goes for either man or women. So this is called Kitchen Table. It goes, defeat is a mirror. It is a pile of unopened envelopes dining at the kitchen table, collecting dust and calling dibs on unnamed space. It is an arrangement of resting potential and doom, neatly packed and sealed, waiting on a chance to be opened, for a chance to be discovered by hands brave enough to inhale its fate. Truth is, the truth ain't always easy to swallow, especially when you've been conditioned to stomach your opinion and silence your beliefs. You lose your desire for taste. Besides, dinner was always something at his request. He liked the idea of being served, so he named her his handmaid, a worthy sacrifice. And she is fervent in her fasting. She'd much rather starve than digest the reality that time has left her with nothing but the hope she planted in his place. She knows that she will never get it back. Every day the mailman arrives, delivering more fate, trinkets of grace sent to her by God, warnings, if you will. As she watches from the windowsill, two images reflect back at her, regret and shame for the woman she wished she had given herself the chance to become. She's been writing to him for years, poems written in every language and tattooed on the innermost parts of her womb, and she weeps for him daily, one prayer at a time, until she has no more left in her to give, until the kitchen table folds under the weight of a century's worth of unopened letters.
Gave me chills today. Like, wow, I'm loving it.
That was hauntingly beautiful. Oh my God. Like you ate it up.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Well, we finished a little early. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I definitely hope that you we're leaving you feeling inspired and feeling the community spirit. Thank you so much for our amazing artists who donated their time to be here with us today. Thank you guys so much. Before we hop off, I know we kind of got some Instagrams and websites already, but is there anywhere that we can keep up with you or maybe follow you in addition to your website? Devin, would love to hear from you first.
Yes, please follow my art journey. I'm on my Instagram. I'll send it right here. And then my website that I watch you all through. Would love for you guys to take a look and let me know what you think.
Awesome. Cambria, would love to hear from you as well.
Yes, I have an Instagram. I will also put it in the chat. It's just artxcamerodeneen. And then my website is artbycamerodeneen.com, where I sell my work and everything. So yes, both of those are in the chat now.
I'm trying to figure out how to, Devin, it looks like yours went in the, like the host area. I'm trying to figure out how to copy and paste it, but it won't let me do it.
I'm currently putting everyone's links to everyone, so go ahead and just
there we go. So we're good.
say them and then we'll do it.
Kristy, you want to go next?
Yes, my Instagram, you can find me at _vantage point. And then my website is going to be vantagepoint with 2Ts.com. I also.
Perfect. There we go. Harold, last but not least. Yes, period. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, y'all. That's me. And I can put my email as well. Like if y'all wanna reach me, it's just my first and last name at 215@gmail.com. I'll put that on the in the chat too. But yeah, that's me. Y'all are so incredibly beautiful. Each and every one of y'all ate it up. Period. Yes, I definitely agree. So thank y'all so much for joining. And hopefully we'll see you again next year. Bye.